Hey everyone, real quick before the episode begins, I just want to say thank you so much for all your support and, sharing the content, sharing the posts. It really means a lot to us. With that said, real quick, if you guys don't mind, it'd be really awesome if you guys could go rate and review the show, either on Spotify or Apple. Both places are where most people find the show. So if you could just take a second, do that. It really helps us out, gets the show, into more ears, and just kind of helps push it in the algorithm. I don't even know if either of those things have an algorithm. Don't care. Whatever. If you could, please just rate and review the show wherever you can. It really helps us out. And if you don't like the show, rate and review it anyways. Just whatever. And also, if you can, support us through Patreon. It really helps us out. It's $5 a month. Right now, we're kind of lacking on actually doing anything for it, but just in general, it just helps us out. We have a goal of hopefully one day being able to record in the same room, which we have never done, which would be fucking awesome. But also helping us get to different, cryptid festivals, whatever. Just, help us get out there and meet some of you guys. So it really helps. $5 a month. Maybe we'll do different tiers. I feel like $5 a month isn't enough to really, do it. It's a lot for people who don't have a lot right now because inflation's wild. But it just you do what you can. If not, whatever. Anyways, enjoy the show.
You need to find this royalty-free band. Make lyrics to that song.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Cryptid Cocktail Party, a show where we have a few drinks, share a few laughs, take a dive into the unknown. I'm your host, Dave, and I'm joined, as always, by Sarge the Destroyer, a.k.a. What is this?
Liberal Satanist baby eater.
And I am Dave, your Sigma male podcast host, parentheses, God tier.
Hello, everyone. Hello. I am sick. I had a fever this morning, but I drank a Red Bull, so we're ready to do this. And then after, I'm going to take a nap.
Well, as a Sigma male podcaster, parentheses, God tier, it's all in your mind, man. All right, this is all. It's all mental gymnastics. You got to fucking just stand up. Don't be afraid. Don't go to any woke liberal doctors. Don't take any fucking sort of medication, because medication.
If I just invested enough in crypto, I would feel better. That's what it is.
Exactly. So I have a new coin coming out. It's called Derp Coin. And what it is.
Supported fully by Logan Paul.
Yeah, it's definitely not a pump and dump. So if anyone wants to invest, I'll need $700,000. That's just to get in the ground floor.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's a companion NFT of conservative talking heads in their backyards trying to suntan their gooches.
Yes. I was going to say, so it starts out as that, but then it evolves into just pictures of buttholes. Not like super close
conservative
up.
Buttholes. They're conservative buttholes, though. So it's not gay because they're conservative.
Yeah, I don't want any of this alphabet army butthole going around. All right, this is all about...
This is male. This is manly butts.
Yeah.
Speaking of manly butts, did you hear the news? Did you hear the news about Grindr essentially almost crashing?
Yes.
During the RNC.
Oh, I love it so much.
I think it was a YouTube or a TikTok video, somebody at the RNC on Grindr just flipping through profile after profile of dudes that are like within a certain geographic location.
Dude,
it just makes me so happy.
I just want to know, there's no way, they'd have to, all right. So
just come out, boys. Live your best life.
But if you're a senator or whatever, Republican senator who's voting against gay rights and all this stuff, when you make a secret Grindr profile or whatever, they're clearly not using their own name and picture, right? There's no way, because
it didn't show any pictures.
Because then when you go to meet your date for the night or whatever, they're gonna be like, hey, aren't you fucking that guy that like wants to like make sure all my friends are dead? Like, there's no.
Aren't you Matt Gaetz?
Dude, that guy's eyebrows during the RNC, he looked just shocked the entire time. He
made a choice.
He's got a lot of work done. He looks like. Did you ever see that horror movie with Dee Snider where?
No, I didn't.
I forget what it's
called. To me, he just looked like Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that was like he's one life partner and a Bengal tiger away from having a show in Vegas.
So accurate.
I was like, that's the most spot on shit I've ever heard in my entire life. But anyway, Sarge, how are you doing, buddy? You looking good? I know you're not feeling good, but you're looking good.
I'm doing all right. Yeah. It was an exciting weekend last weekend. Lots going on.
I will preempt this by saying the shirt I'm wearing, I did not buy because of what happened. I already own this shirt, and I had no idea.
We're going to mention that.
I feel like I have to bring it up. I don't condone political violence unless it's like warranted. But
look, it's okay to punch a Nazi, but try not to shoot them. You know, that's not the right way to do things.
So this shirt is a ripoff of Misfits shirt from JFK. But don't worry about it. I'm sorry. I wore it. I didn't realize.
The explanation doesn't help.
It's not good.
I got a comment on TikTok from some guy who was like, the liberals are trying to take away our Second Amendment rights when they're not trying to assassinate the president. And I was thinking to myself, like, wait, I thought we were supposed to be scared of guns. Now we're using them? I don't understand how that works.
Yeah.
I thought you guys said we didn't like guns. But now we're going to use them.
I love guns.
Also,
shooting guns is hands down one of the funnest things. Like in New Hampshire, we used to go to a sand dune and set up a bunch of spray paint cans and shoot them with shotguns.
Shooting guns is awesome.
It's so much fun.
But by their logic, like we're the biggest weenies and wussies in the world, yet we tried to shoot a guy. But also, that kid was a registered Republican.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, crazy is crazy. It doesn't matter. Like it just follows the long trail, which is almost exclusively crazy white men trying to shoot American presidents. There's only one woman in history who tried to kill an American president, and that was one of Charles Manson's followers, Squeaky Fromme.
Oh, Squeaky. Not going to lie, Squeaky, out of all those followers, she can get it.
Until she shaved her head. Once she shaved her head, then she started to look a little bit not okay.
I keep rubbing my fucking tits, and I don't know why. I think it's because
that's the last time I mentioned Squeaky Fromme around you.
No, this is
you're all hot and bothered.
This is a separate thought.
Oh, okay.
The other day, I was hunched. We were in New Hampshire, and it was fucking hot as shit up there last weekend. And I was like leaning forward, and I realized like I have tits now, and like I never understood boob sweat, and now I'm like, fuck, dude.
Oh, it's a thing.
It's not ideal.
It's a thing.
But anyways, moving along.
I get it at the gym when I'm working out. That's why I don't wear cotton anymore, because it holds the moisture.
We got to wear wool.
Yeah.
Wool will keep you warm, even
a
if it's wet.
A wool hair shirt. That's right. That's some New Hampshire knowledge right there.
What if wool keeps you warm?
You got to wear the wool. Yeah.
No, I know. Why do you think everyone from the Northeast wears flannel?
That's right.
Yeah,
and in the Pacific. The Northwest as well.
Everyone calls us hipsters, but it's like, dude, you don't understand. Flannel is like warm. The best thing to ever come out of anything ever. In New Hampshire, you can just wear a flannel and a jean jacket in the middle of winter, and you're warm as fuck.
Yeah, it's soft, it's comfortable, and it's warm. So
yeah,
maybe you should be a hipster if you want to stay alive in wintertime.
True, but I feel like hipsters, they wear plaid, which isn't flannel, but it looks like flannel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I feel like...
yeah, but flannel's the fabric.
Hold on. I'll say, correct me if I'm wrong. I think flannel is the fabric. The print is plaid.
Yes.
But
yes,
flannel is notorious for being plaid.
Right. But they're they can be mutually exclusive.
Yeah. What are we doing right now?
You can have a plaid. I don't know. We got off on a weird tangent. How did we get from a presidential assassination to flannel shirts?
Because hipsters.
Anyway, please don't try and kill former presidents or current presidents. Don't kill.
I was going to say
figures.
caveat, and also
just going to make things worse. For those of us who are, tired of old white people being the ones who make the decisions, let's just try not to shoot them. All right. Avoid it.
Yeah.
Never ends well. It never ends well. Except for John Hinckley Jr. He's just strolling around DC now. He's totally fine.
Dude, John Hinckley Jr.
no longer in prison.
He's fucking crushing it right now. He has a Spotify. He's putting out music, and it's actually not bad.
I'm so confused as to that weird turn of events.
When I was
in 1980, he was trying to impress Jodie Foster. Here we are in 2024, and he's just king of the world. And now Jodie Foster is impressed. So congratulations.
But he wasn't trying to impress any Jodie Foster. He was trying to impress like 14-year-old.
Yeah, that also adds a layer of grossness to the whole situation.
It's not ideal.
No,
anyways, so Sarge.
Yeah.
Today I have an episode for you, and I figured since in my absence last week, which wasn't voluntary, I had to go take care of some things, but to make it up to you, I wrote this episode just for you.
I'm so excited.
And I'm
so ready.
I told you before the episode, because I wanted you to know this for a fact, that what I'm about to tell you is 100% real from a news article that I had found. Okay? So whatever your thoughts are.
I'm so excited. I cannot wait.
All right. So today we are going to travel to the Great White North, specifically Newfoundland. Okay. For those of you who don't know, Newfoundland is a large island located in the Canadian province of Newfoundland and Labrador, which I thought were two separate things, but apparently it's one. So, but anyways, it's like,
oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like way the fuck up there.
That.
Like this is like Arctic Circle shit. Now, while the island of Newfoundland is only about 30% of the province's landmass, it holds over 90% of the population. And 60% of that population lives on the small southeastern Avalon Peninsula. It's a cool place. There's lots to do if you like doing like cold shit, which we're from New England, so we kind of always have to do cold shit.
But yeah, it's not a matter of like, it's a matter of survival.
Yeah. But there's a lot of like archaeological sites and whale watching trips, but there's one place on the island that really piqued my interest. See, I was scouring some of the cryptid subreddits, and I like to do this from time to time just to get like inspiration.
Yeah.
And I came across a news article someone had posted from the Vancouver Sun dated December 9th, 1950. Now, this is just a year after Newfoundland had officially joined like the Union of Canada, which I didn't realize they would. That's like really recently, and I had no idea. But the headline of this article.
Before they were just like a club.
Pretty much, yeah. But
yeah.
Sarge. All right. So the headline the headline of this article in huge, large black font simply read, "The Dildo Monster." So today, Sarge, just as a little treat for you, we're going to be covering the Dildo Monster of Dildo Pond.
Dildo Pond. One can only imagine what filled it.
Again, this is just for you, baby. All right. So
Dildo Monster.
So
That's another name for Matt Gaetz, actually.
So Dildo Pond is 6 miles long and is located about a quarter mile from Dildo Harbor in Trinity Bay.
It's a big dildo.
First of all, I do gotta say, all jokes aside, if your pond is 6 miles long, that's a lake. And I did look up like the difference between like a lake and a pond, and it's the difference between like a lake and a pond. There is no like real difference, I guess. But to me, it's like that quote about pornography where it's like, I don't know how to define a lake, but I know one when I see one, kind of thing.
I think that's actually the same definition for dildos. It's like Abraham Lincoln once said, anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
All right. Anywho, along the bank of Dildo Pond along the bank of Dildo Pond is Blaketown. It's a small settlement of about 60 homes and 4 different sawmills. Also,
and many satisfied women.
So, but also, all this information is coming from this single news article, and it was written in 1950. So, how true this is today, like 70 years later, I have no idea. But all this information is, think about it as coming from the 1950s. Okay, does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But the article goes on to say that out of Blaketown's roughly 300 residents, 15 of them who were quote unquote adults of unquestioned integrity have claimed that they have seen the monster and that they are willing to go before a judge and swear an affidavit that they've seen Dildosus, which is the name the newspaper suggested that it be called. Most descriptions of the monster are pretty much the same when it comes like to the dildo monster, which when it comes to lake monsters is kind of like weird because most people who see lake monsters are usually either a plesiosaur,
dildo shaped,
or they're dildo shaped like a snake.
Slippery snake. It's very veiny.
They say it's roughly 50 feet long, with the head being about 3 feet long and shaped like an eel's, with quote bulging frog-like eyes about the size of a water glass. The neck is about The neck is about 5 feet long, and is slim compared to the body that is said to be the size of a rum cask. Witnesses also say that the tail of Dildosus can't even say it, is shaped like
this is never getting on TikTok, by the way.
I know. It's shaped like the tail of an airplane. It said that it uses to swim with its head out of the water and quote unquote moving steadily at a great rate of speed without the undulations of a water snake.
The name of my sex tape.
Now, the people of Blaketown and others in the area claim that Dildo Pond was once teeming with salmon and trout, but their numbers have dwindled down to like almost zero ever since the first sighting of Dildosus roughly 60 years ago. That's 60 years ago from 1950, so that's 130 years ago local time.
Okay.
Whatever. Wherever we are now, it's 130 years from now, but 60 years from 1950.
So like the 1890s.
Yeah.
Dildosus was born.
Dildosus was born in the 1890s. So in 1890.
Back then it was just called Hysteria Fixer.
So in 1890, when a Norwegian man named Nielsen, he set up a, what's the word I'm looking for? He set up an experimental fish hatchery, as well as a small flock of ducks on one of Dildo Pond's lakes. He claims that one dawn, the monster, quote unquote, appeared to him, and upon seeing this monster and serpent, all slick and glistening with its bulbous head, he and his ducks got the hell out of there.
Sat on it immediately.
Ever since then, the monster made his presence known, but in small intervals, like just the tip, just for a second. Just see how it feels. But it seemed to like only appear to fishermen and hunters, and only when they were alone. So for the longest time,
it's very discreet dildo. It's fair.
Yeah. For the longest time, people just wrote their stories off and attributed the sightings to quote unquote the potency of Newfoundland rum than to fact. That was until 1945. It started showing up regularly, and not just to like lone huntsmen. It would appear just yards from the shore of Blaketown. It began, quote unquote, regarding them with a very hungry look in its eyes. The villagers are convinced that since it seems to have eaten all the fish in the lake over the years, it's now contemplating whether or not it can eat the townsfolk. How you feeling right now? You good?
I need to know why they called this town Dildo. This lake.
Well, there is a town called Dildo. We're just talking about Blaketown, which is on the other side of Dildo
right, but
Pond.
I need to know why they were like, hey, this is a huge body of water. Let's call it Dildo.
So I did find out that
what is the
origin of Dildo is that it originally was part of a boat kind of thing. It's something that would hold the oar like in the back of the boat, kind of like to steer like the rudder
tiller.
Almost.
Yeah. Okay.
It was called that thing was called a dildo. So Now we know.
That's apt. That's okay.
Yeah.
So now we know that. Okay. Now I feel a little bit better.
Doesn't make
because I was really shook. I was like, why that name?
Why not that name?
Because there's like other names that you could use, a lot of other names that you could use besides one for a synthetic penis.
I don't know if dildo was around.
I was confused.
Was the word dildo around even back then? I don't even know. I didn't look into the etymology of the word dildo, but I did.
I'm guessing the name for the pleasure device was based off the shape of the handle of the tiller.
I would assume
that moves the rudder.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, a more recent sighting of the creature, by recent I mean within the 1950s scape, was seen by a man named Norman Mercer, who the newspaper dubbed the quote most quoted authority and quote a sane and sober 41-year-old sawmill owner. Said that he was standing on the bank of the pond outside his sawmill when he heard the churning of water. He looked in the direction of the noise and said he saw quote the water swirling and splashing, and there was a monster approaching the bank, end quote. He then shouted for his brother and two workers to come see what he was seeing.
This is how a lot of gay porn starts out, I'm thinking.
What he was seeing was a long, thick monster of a dildosus coming at them. He went on to tell the newspaper, quote, the monster paid no attention to us and came within a few feet of our logs before turning and swimming away. He said as it turned to leave, it lashed the water, turning it into a boiling foam, and then 10-foot logs, a foot in diameter, were tossed on end and thrown about like matchsticks. So like I said, the town folks are concerned. Not this dude. He seems fine. It didn't even fuck with him. But others
He's totally fine with it.
Yeah, but others are worried as to whether or not this thing will, in time, find a way to wriggle itself out of the water and start preying on the villagers. They also want to know just how the fuck there came to be a monster in Dildo Pond. Well, as always, when weird shit like this happens in a small area, some scientists came to town in hopes of like studying the creature. They theorized that it must have come up one of the brooks that connected Dildo Pond to Trinity Bay, and that when, quote, it was a little wriggler, it then stuffed itself on so many fat dildo salmon that it couldn't get back to the sea. I know you want to laugh. Just do it.
The person who wrote this knew immediately what they were doing.
This is a quote. They quoted this motherfucker. This is a scientist said that. So you know.
Oh no, that I could see how the scientists had no idea that what they were saying is sexual. They're just saying the most accurate words to describe what is happening. Meanwhile, the reporter is crying tears of joy.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, all that makes sense. Like, you mean like a small creature made its way to like a lake and it ate all the native species, and now it's like, fuck, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll eat the villagers. But as always with small industry towns, the people who live there said, fuck you scientists and your woke liberal book learning. You know, like their rational theories and lab coats. Instead, most of them believe that Nielsen, the dude who first saw the monster and had the experimental like fish hatchery and the ducks and shit like that, was actually doing Frankenstein-like experiments.
Okay.
Claiming that one of his hobbies, according to their parents, was experimenting with crossing of various types of fish eggs and spawn. And in this case, he, quote, produced more than he bargained for, but didn't have the courage to claim his monster. Now,
that's what happens when you stick your dick in the salmon. Sometimes you get a dildo monster.
Yeah. Now, 60 years later, the inhabitants of Blaketown are wondering if, having failed to destroy its creator, if it intends to start on them. There you go, Sarge. That is the entire story of the dildo monster of Dildo Pond. This is the only thing I could find about it, is this one article, which I will link in the episode description so anyone could find it. But there it is. How are you?
I have to go to this place.
Dildo?
I need to see Dildo Lake.
So there's like a dildo. There's like, it's actually pretty sick. There's like a brewery there, Dildo Brewery. And they got like,
okay.
I kind of need to go to, but like,
is it called Dildo Brewery?
Yes, the beer is Dildo beer.
How much does it cost to ship to America?
I know that if I don't know how much it costs, but I know that if you spend $150 or more on their website, it's free shipping to the US. But I mean, you can get it shipped no matter what.
I need it. I don't even care what I buy. I'll get 25 t-shirts.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I want to support them. I want to support my local small business, even if it's not local to me.
Yeah, no, I get you. But there you have it. That is the story of the dildo monster.
I think this is my favorite story that we've covered so far. I didn't think there was anything that could top the little flower aliens, but this really did it for me.
The dildo monster?
You scratched an itch. Yeah.
Dildos have a tendency to scratch itches where, you can't normally get to. So I think
they have a calming effect.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. But that one's for you.
Wow.
This one's for you. Thank you for
that was a journey.
It was good.
That was a journey. I'm so excited about this whole episode.
I had a whole other thing planned for this, but as I was like scrolling through Reddit and I saw this, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god, dude! The dildo monster."
Yeah, as it always happens, you start researching one thing and it turns into something else. Oh man, that makes me so happy. That was amazing.
Well, Sarge, I appreciate you.
Hey, we should
Oh shit!
Didn't we have that idea? We had that idea. That idea we were going to ask people to send us their stories.
Yeah. Did you get one? Because I didn't get one.
No, I didn't. Because we never did it.
Oh yeah, because I never posted about it. things got away from me this week. So
no, things were busy. It's fine. It's fine. That's why I didn't say. That's why I hadn't said anything yet. But we need you guys out there in the world to send us your stories, your dildo monsters. We want to talk about your dildos.
Please. I mean,
or other things.
I feel like
maybe I should.
That's a horrible way to word that.
Not.
Yeah. Let's rewind. Let's take it back a bit.
Let's rewind. We want your supernatural cryptid stories.
Oh, I was gonna say
they don't have to be about dildos. Oh. I don't want those. No, because we don't know what they're doing.
I think we need to get on.
If somebody's into diaper play, I don't want to have to describe that.
I feel like we want two different things. All right, so no, we'll go with Sarge's thing. What we want from you is your paranormal stories. Email us, cryptidcocktail@gmail.com. Send either of us a DM, Sarge the Destroyer or Cryptid Cocktail. It doesn't matter. Keep it brief. I don't want to do a whole episode on just one story, but just.
Yeah, right. But I'll do a dramatic reading of it.
Yeah,
I'll do a dramatic reading.
Whatever the character limit of a DM is, go with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe separate paragraphs for me because my brain is slow.
I separate my scripts into paragraphs that don't make sense for paragraph breaks. It's easier to read if it's not like all one long fucking thing.
Also, get your comic book, SargeSupernormal.com, $9.99. Can't beat that with a sack full of wild badgers. He's got one too.
Yeah, you didn't even bother to say you can't beat that with a 10-foot dildo. Come on, man, you're really missing the plot.
Listen, we really slung a lot of dildos around.
True.
And so I'm trying to scale it back.
All right. So buy Sarge's comic book, and now you got me doing
coloring book. See now I got you saying comic book. It's coloring book.
It's
SargeSupernormal.com, $9.99. Can't beat that with a 10-foot dildo.
See, there you go. That's better. I'm gonna edit everything else before this out and just go with that one.
I mean, if you had a 10-foot dildo, you could beat a lot of stuff, actually.
Yeah. Let's see. Follow Sarge on all of his social medias. You can find them in the link in our episode description. Not episode. Instagram. You can also find him just by Googling Sarge the Destroyer. He's pretty much the only one as far as I know. If you want to follow us on Instagram, it's at Cryptid Cocktail. And I think that's pretty much all I got. You can support the Patreon. Yeah. It's $5 a month. Maybe. I think it's $5.
And drink Narragansett beer.
Yeah, and also drink Narragansett beer. Also, so you see... You can't see this, but I have a bookshelf that is right here. If you have stickers or anything like that, like if you have like a band or any sort of like something you want to promote, I'm going to fill this all with stickers. So that way when we start doing like full episodes on YouTube, they can see all your stuff. How's that? Does that sound good? There you go. You know what I mean? Like
I like it.
Yeah, it's like free promotion for you. All right.
We got to get you a dildo brewery sticker.
Oh my God, dude. I will buy $150 worth of those just to get free
Yeah,
shipping.
absolutely.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. And with that, Sarge, do you want to say goodbye and I love you to the audience?
Goodbye, everyone. I love you. I'll see you next week.